Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of At the Bar, hosted by yours truly, Ryan Carter. This week, I am bringing you another drink from the new cocktail books provided to me courtesy of the wonderful Tina. The drink is called the Bloodhound, and it is a half-frozen cocktail, which means, much like a pina colada, you combine all the ingredients with ice and then blend it. It's not frozen because you don't actually put it in the freezer, but the ice being frozen itself makes the drink considered half frozen because it's mixed in. Now, the Bloodhound is a gin-based drink with sweet and dry vermouth and fresh strawberries, and that's essentially the entire cocktail. Now, there are several different people who have claimed to have put the cocktail in their book first. The earliest record is Thomas Bullock in 1917 with The Ideal Bartender, but we also have Robert Vermeer, who published Cocktails, How to Mix Them in 1922. He actually used raspberries and maraschino liqueur rather than strawberries in his. In between 1922 and 1927, Harry McElhone published ABC of Cocktails, and in 1930, Eric Elistad published Savoy Cocktail Book. So all these people had the cocktail recipe in their book first, according to them. The only one I could find any history on was actually Thomas Bullock, who was a bartender at a St. Louis country club in the 1910s. Now, Teddy Roosevelt had stopped in at that country club at least once while he was on his travels, and in 1913, he had stopped there on his campaign trail running for his third term as president. After he was there, he was accused of being a drunk by George Newitt, who was the editor and publisher of Iron Ore, which was a Michigan newspaper. Teddy took offense to this and sued the editor for libel because at the time, temperance folks were getting movement and traction on prohibition. So to be a politician and accused of being an alcoholic or a drunk was a pretty strong claim at the time. Now, during the trial, Teddy claimed that he had never drank liquor or porter or anything of that sort, and he had never drunk a highball or cocktail in his life. He said he sometimes drank juleps in the White House, where there was a bed of mint, and he had maybe drunk half a dozen mint juleps a year, and certainly no more. And he doubted if he had drank a half dozen a year since he left the presidency in 4 years. He remembered maybe drinking two, one at the country club in St. Louis, where he claimed to have simply touched a mouthful, and apparently the other one was at a dinner in Little Rock. Now, on May 28th of 1913, the St. Louis Post-Dispatch published a article saying that Colonel Roosevelt's fatal admission was that he drank just part of one julep at the St. Louis Country Club, which they speculated was what was going to make him come near losing his case, because who had ever known him to drink just one part of Tom's, Tom being Thomas Bullock. He had been taught by some great mixologist how to make juleps, and anybody found it hard to believe that Teddy Roosevelt only drank part of one. Now, what that does is puts Teddy Roosevelt and Thomas Bullock in this country club at the same time, proving that the Bloodhound could have been the drink they were referring to. Now, a lot of people attribute the Bloodhound drink to the Duke of Manchester, who actually visited Teddy Roosevelt in 1914. However, nobody's sure if the Duke brought the drink over to Teddy and told him about it after he had been with Tom, or if Teddy had gotten the drink from Tom and told the Duke about it later. So again, like all the drinks we've done on the show, kind of a sordid past and nobody really knows where they're going. However, the drink sounds exciting and refreshing, so let's go on over to the bar and see how to make it. All right, so I unfortunately had some SD card issues this week, and not really sure what happened, but even though I've been deleting stuff off my SD card on my GoPro, apparently, it's still taking up room somehow. So I've already made this drink 3 times at this point, so I'm not going to make it again, unfortunately, for this week, but it's very simple. You're going to want to start with your blender glass with some ice in it. Now, it's not a huge drink. You're not serving it in a full 12-ounce, 16-ounce glass. It's going to be in a regular, Martini glass. So you only need about 4 to 8 ounces of liquid. So you want to put only about 4 to 6 ice cubes in your blending glass. And then you want to toss your strawberries on top. I like to use the bigger ones. They're not quite in season yet, so even though they are, you know, plump and red, their flavor is still not fully at maturation of super sweet and rich strawberry flavor. But toss that in there, and then you're gonna just put, we'll just do it this way. You're gonna put 2 ounces of gin for 1 ounce of dry vermouth and 1 ounce of sweet vermouth. All of that's gonna go in your blender glass. And then I'm not gonna subject you to it because blending is loud, but once you've blended your stuff together, you get a drink that looks something like this. It's a really nice, pretty red color. It looks a little thicker because you got your chunks of strawberry and your chunks of ice cube in there. But let's give her a taste. Okay, not bad. For those of you that don't like super sweet drinks, this is probably going to be right up your alley. You definitely get the gin in there, but it's actually kind of hidden by the vermouth flavor, actually. It blends well together, and honestly, I lose most of the strawberry. I get kind of that fresh mouthfeel that you get from fresh fruit, but I don't really get a ton of strawberry flavor. So if you were looking to get the strawberry flavor out of this drink, I would probably recommend you buy some strawberry liqueur, and then you can add probably, I'd say only a ½ ounce, because a lot of times those liqueurs are very, very sweet, and they can be overpowering. So I would say if you really wanted to get the strawberry flavor out of this, add a little bit of strawberry liqueur to it so you can get that nice flavor. Now I went ahead and garnished mine with the top of a strawberry. It's super easy to do that. If you just take the strawberry that you already have cut so that you can put in your blender, and you just make a nice little incision right in the middle so it folds open like that, and then you can just boop, put that right on the edge of your glass, and it adds a little flair to it, makes it look really pretty. So yeah, that's a Bloodhound. Definitely a great drink. A little bit more involved just because you have to have a blender on hand, so it may not be the perfect drink for every occasion, but it's definitely a great back porch drink, and you could always up the quantity to make a full pitcher of it, and then that way you'd have some for like a party or something. So hopefully you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you next week. Cheers.